When we first think of being Filipino, we often have that feeling of uniqueness, where our personalities are so gentle that others keep coming back for more, where our frankness and humors are top-notch, that we generate the wittiest statements from tiniest of details, where food is not so good without company, and the list goes on. But what if I told you that we are not so different after all? That someone out there, some of us are some of others too. And all of the countries that could match certain attitude and cultures with the Philippines, one of them is someone famous. And that someone famous is not from Asia, not one of our colonizers, and definitely not one that you expect. Would you believe me if I told you that some things never change? In the majestic, romantic, and fantastic France. Bonjour, je m'appelle Rossel, your curious cat. And for today, my question is, are you Filipino enough to be French? Tricky, right? Let's start with time, or should I say, not arriving on time. As Filipinos, we often normalize being late to gatherings and just blame it on that so-called culture that we even name Filipino time. And often, we frown over it and see it as a negative thing even if we saw it coming. Guess what? In France, arriving around 15 to 20 minutes late is not just considered normal, but it's a proper etiquette. The English term it fashionably late. They say that if you arrive on time, the host might be in the middle of preparing something. Sounds like my mom inviting people over for dinner at 6, but still finalizing her spaghetti sauce at 6:05. Speaking of food and gatherings, the French people are also group foodies, like us Filipinos. Bonding usually revolves around food, and no gossip is juicy enough without our stomachs enjoying some delicacies. But first, before all the food stop, we can't forget to greet our amis or kumaras. To proceed to tea time, as Filipinos have this automatic muscle memory of a double cheek-to-cheek kiss with our friends. Here, we call it beso-beso. In France, they call it frankness, and it's the exact same thing. French people also see family as a precious thing like us. Both in France and in the Philippines, the family serves as the founding unit of society for generations. Traditionally, the French family structure included either nuclear or extended families, like what we practice here in our country. But in the modern times, they shifted primarily to nuclear. However, grandmère and grandpère are not necessarily left by themselves because extended family gatherings are common over the weekends. Oh, it so feels like home there in France. Lastly, Catholicism is the main religion in both countries. And while we, French and Filipino Gen Zs, are out here reminding everyone that there is a separation of the church and the state, our ancestors did otherwise. Because in our history books, there is what we call a state religion, a religion officially recognized and supported by the government, often established by law. And Catholicism it is. In French tradition, kings were even crowned within the Notre-Dame-de-Rome Cathedral until 1825. Now, let's get back to the question. Are you Filipino enough to be French? If not, might as well start practicing these attitudes before your trip to France. If yes, let's proceed to the next level, which is the exact opposite. Of course, not all Filipino attitudes radiate within French people. After all, there is beauty in diversity. As your curious cat, I now ask you, can you un-Filipino enough to be French? Imagine, you're in a grocery store in France. You have a cart full of your favorite goodies. The cashier then punches the items and put them on the side of the counter. As usual, you pay the total and expect your groceries to be handed to you in a plastic bag. So you wait and wait and wait for nothing. Don't do that. Just don't. Contrary to Filipino grocery store, the hired baggers who pack items in a box or bag, French one literally says, "Bag your own groceries, girl. I thought you're independent woman." There may be several reasons such as customer preference or saving labor costs. But my favorite one is environmentally wise. They encourage you to bring your own bag to minimize the use of single-use plastic. How I would love this to be part of being Filipino too. Moving on, French fashion is renowned for its timeless elegance and sophisticated aesthetic. Classic, chic, you name it. French people are not known to quote-unquote dress down, which is why even their street style seems to have been put up with so much effort. At least relatively to us. Because most of us, Filipinos, are content with our daily dose of cotton pants and a t-shirt, our own version of comfy couture. Blame it on the searching heat of our tropical land, only few of us can tolerate building an outfit with layers. But you might want to practice styling now if you plan to travel there. Lastly, when it comes to dating, this requires a lot of energy adjusting from Filipino to French. Although both are similar in context of slow burn or the idea of getting to know each other and requiring a certain level of familiarity before entering a relationship. The rest are not. In French dating culture, public display of affection is acceptable, while it's somewhat a taboo here in the Philippines. Couples may hold hands, hug, and kiss regularly even in public places, and no one seems to care. And as they have the romantic freedom in terms of expression, they also have the level of freedom in terms of affairs. In French culture, affairs, including postmarital ones, are viewed with a certain degree of tolerance compared to the other countries. A 2013 survey by the Pew Research Center revealed that while most French individuals still consider it morally unacceptable, the number of those who view it as a non-issue is relatively high. In fact, France was the only country where less than 50% of respondents describe infidelity as unacceptable. Instead, 4 in 10 thinks it is not moral issue, while 12 says it is morally acceptable. Wow! Just wow! As a Filipino, what do you think? Maybe that controversial husband and paramour duo in your barangay should start saving for plane ticket to France. Again, let's get back to the question. Can you un-Filipino enough to become French? This question was surely harder than the former. But letting go of norms, even for a while, leads you to enjoying the moments you've never felt before. Nevertheless, it's still your choice on how to act and how to believe. After all, we are all Filipinos. We are known for our versatility. And when we step on the majestic, romantic, and fantastic France, we will blend in before we could even notice. And in no time, we can be French enough even as a Filipino. That it's for today. Curiosity killed the cat. Satisfaction brought it back. Again, I am Rossel, Binalla, your curious cat. Till our next class of questioning, good day. Merci beaucoup.